We're live. Am I on loudspeaker? Are we on loudspeaker?
Not, no.
Are you getting feedback when I'm speaking?
Yeah.
I can hear you, but your picture's froze.
Oh shit. So that's cool. Cool. You should be seeing that on YouTube now, so I'm just going to share it now.
It's weird. Your picture was frozen on Streamlabs.
Annoyingly, when I moved to the starting stream thing, it freezes on
Streamlabs.
Sorry, I'm just trying to reset. Yeah.
You would have thought YouTube has made a function on there. Just go live and they have like an app and you just add everyone in and call it a day. Hey, you're not moving anymore. I mean, you're not frozen anymore.
There we go.
There we go.
We're live now.
We're live.
I've sent the link in in WhatsApp. Miles, you can hear us, yeah?
Yeah.
Bang, and you're coming through on YouTube as well.
Sick.
All good for me as well.
Alright, let's start, man. Let's start. How you man doing today, man?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Is that
Yeah,
it?
man. Wonderful is a good adjective.
That is true. That is true.
Why wonderful?
Because I'm at home, I've showered, I'm clean. I ain't got no food in my belly yet, but that's coming after the stream, so wrap it up quick.
No, we're gonna take 3 hours now. But yeah, how's your guys' weekend, man? You been enjoying the sun? You guys been outside?
Yeah, man. Just enjoying the sun, getting some ice cream. Yeah, it's been good, man. Good weekend.
Yeah, I reiterate, and hopefully this weekend is even better.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hope so too.
I mean, but I can't deal with these 30-degree days though, man. It needs to be like 25. 25 is the sweet spot.
We're complaining. Enjoy it.
Yeah, you have to take it where you can get it. Pause, but yeah.
Alright, cool, man. But yeah, what's good, everyone on the stream, man? Welcome to the stream. As you've clicked on the title, this is the Deadpool and Wolverine spoiler talk. We've got a special show today, man. It's something that I don't normally do on the channel because I avoid spoilers and reviews, but today we're changing that, man. Enough time has passed. I know it's just been under a week, but you know, we've been seeing leaks from the director, Ryan Reynolds. It's all over Twitter. So now's the right time to spoil Deadpool and Wolverine. And I got my guys, Steven Geekface here and Agents of Screen, aka Miles.
Yo.
What's good, everyone? So
in the building.
we're all in the building, Miles is on Discord chat, but he's going to get his laptop fixed soon, and then we'll be seeing his lovely face on the stream soon.
Too kind.
Well, yeah, for our listeners tuning in, like I said already, we're going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. We're going to be spoiling the hell out of this film. I'm going to keep repeating it so there's no crybabies in the comments saying why you spoiling the ting. So yeah, we're going to get into the nitty gritty. So we're going to start. What your initial reactions, guys? Steven, let's start with you. Initial reaction on Deadpool and Wolverine.
I think this word's been used a couple of times. Definitely a fan service movie. It's not really a movie in terms of it having a proper structure, but it does follow the Deadpool plot that you've been following for the last two movies. So if you do like that, you're gonna have fun with this, like I did as well. Great chemistry between the two main leads. Some really interesting cameos. Special effects was okay, hit or miss. Overall, fun time. Not a great movie, but a fun time. That's what I had with it.
Miles?
My first impressions are, if you like Ryan Reynolds, if you like the Deadpool movies, then you'll have a great time with this. It's more of the same, but if you get caught up in the MCU, finally Wolverine aspect of it, then you may be disappointed, but it's in line with the other Deadpool movies. I think it's, like Steven said, it's a very fun time. I don't think it's a great movie. I feel like I'm repeating what he said, but it's fun. It's fun. It's in line with Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool, but just cranked up to the max.
Hey Steven, you seem like you changed your tune, man. You came out the cinema, you was gassed.
No. I never did that. No. I don't know where you got that from. People asked me, Steve, you actually like this one? I said, yeah, I liked it. But that's it. I didn't say nothing else. I just kept moving away home to go and reflect. Everyone was all jumping on the scene. Oh, the best! The MCU is back. I didn't do that. I just waited, let it reflect to my mind, and I gave the score that I gave, and that's it.
I'm starting to 10 toes. The MCU is back, guys, man. What's good, Gaz? We got Gaz in the stream on TikTok, man. Good to have you in the stream, man. My initial thoughts, I'm agreeing with you guys. I think the film, if you're looking for a story-driven film, it's not there. Everyone that's asked me, hey, what is Deadpool? Is it good? Blah 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 blah. I said, look, don't go into this film expecting any type of story, because you're not going to get that with this film. But your cinema experience is going to be 10 out of 10. And I really enjoyed this film. Like really enjoyed this film. So now that we've got the initial reaction, we're going to talk about the stories. And yes, the story is all over the place. Miles, where do you start with the story?
Well, the story is a bit like, it felt like Ryan Reynolds called, or rather Hugh Jackman called Ryan Reynolds, and once he got the green light and was like, yes, I'm going to come back, it was more, we have Deadpool and Wolverine in the same place, and let's just put stuff around them to make them get from point A to point B to point C. So the highlights are just them spending time together, and everything else outside of that is just you can't even remember what the story is. A lot of mumbo jumbo, a lot of like antimatter mixed with matter beam, and once this beam and the power of friendship works, then it will save the universe. So if you try to think about it too hard, the more you think about it, the worse it gets. So the story is not the memorable thing about this movie.
I mean, going on what Miles just said, totally agree. The story is all over the place, and if you go into it a bit further, there's a lot of plot holes. Funny enough, I was speaking to one of my friends yesterday, and I was trying to explain the story to him. You know, like you do like a quick, what's the film about? And I swear to God, it took me like 7 minutes to explain the movie to them. Like, it's just long. It's all over the place. It does feel like they're following the same story plot points from the other two. Deadpool is sad because some two of his misses wants to prove his point. Then he bumps into somebody else, aka Wolverine, which is like Cable They go on an adventure. They meet some other people. They learn the true meaning of something. There's always something he needs to learn, and they save the day. That's literally the story. So it doesn't feel like doesn't feel like Ryan Reynolds even had an idea for the story. He was just excited. I've got Wolverine in the MCU. I think they were more focusing about what jokes they're going to land with and what cameos can we afford, and that was it. So. You're muted.
Sorry, apologies. So like, look, Deadpool. He's working a normal life. He's split up with Vanessa. He's tried to join the Avengers and Earth 616. He then gets pulled in by the TVA by Mr. Paradox, played by Matthew McFadden, and he's told that his universe is dying, and you've been brought here to be part of something bigger, something meaningful. And while saying this, he mentions, "Yo, Deadpool, I'm going to end your universe quicker." We'll get into the villains and stuff with that, because I'm still a bit confused with Mr. Paradox and like why he brought Deadpool in, because it was a little bit confusing. But then we learned about this anchor being. I think it's like the first time it's been mentioned in the MCU.
Yeah.
Someone or something that is an anchor to their universe, and if they die, then their universe slowly dies without them. Deadpool's anchor being, it ends up being Logan from the 2017 film, and that was one thing I remember you or Miles out at the cinema. It was like, hey, how did Deadpool connect with Logan, because we never had this connection throughout the other films.
They never mentioned them together. They always make jokes about Hugh Jackman, and they mention like a reference to Wolverine, almost like Deadpool been like, I want Wolverine in my movies, but we never even got a hint that they're in the same universe, even the same time.
Yeah,
like it seemed like Deadpool was in current time, and I'm very sure that Logan said like in the distant future. Everything's a little bit futuristic, not over futuristic, but it is. So I was a bit confused about that. I know all the hardcore Marvel fans have probably explained it on YouTube and all sorts, but I didn't think that made any sense at all.
And then after that, Deadpool's like, I need to save my universe. There's people that I love in there. And then he comes up with this crazy idea to pull a Logan from a different universe. They get pruned into the void, and then his journey, and then there's his journey to escape the void and get back to the world. Have I got that right?
Yeah.
So you are correct. It is under 7 minutes. It is. But you know what? Even though the story was plain and it wasn't cohesive, it didn't make sense at times, I still had such a brilliant time in the cinema. It's a weird one because I should hate this film, but I don't.
I think it's appealing to like certain urges or certain things that you want. So I think because you've got so much of one thing, you don't mind there being a lack of that other thing, if that makes sense. Maybe that's the reason why.
And also because it's a Deadpool, we're not giving it excuses, but we know that he's, he breaks the fourth wall and things don't necessarily make sense. Like he's talking literally to us. He's even telling us in the film, "Oh yeah, this is taking too long. By now, let's wrap this up." There's all these things there, so I already knew it wasn't going to make sense. I would have thought, since you're now joining the MCU, that it would have been some type of story, especially if Kevin Feige said, "You guys can, do what you want." And if they're saying, which I don't think they're now saying anymore, but before they were saying it's going to change. I remember them saying in loads of promotion, it's going to change the MCU. So we were all thinking it's all going to have some kind of story that's going to affect everything else that goes on afterwards. Only to find out it stands on its own. It has no effect on the MCU at all, except that potentially we could get.
Feige lied.
Yeah, he did lie.
Feige lied to us.
Yeah, he did lie.
I remember there was a quote from him, and he was like, "If you think Endgame is a 10 in terms of the effect that it has on the MCU, then Infinity War is a 9 and Deadpool and Wolverine will be an 8. And that was a lie. I don't like people lying to me.
In Mr. Feige and Marvel's defense, can we cut them a little bit of slack with what they've gone through over the past 5 years? And that the Deadpool movie was Drake's red button against Kendrick. They had to press the red button and quickly put something together that brings back that Marvel feeling. Because I think Deadpool's brought that Marvel feeling. I can't lie. This is the first time in months that I've seen leaks. This Fantastic Four is going to have this. Was it Doomsday is going to have this? Prior to Deadpool and Wolverine releasing, the Marvel space has been dry. You could scroll through Twitter nicely. Do you remember when Doctor Strange was coming out and you saw what's it, Patrick Stewart? They had like a CGI of him like 8 months before the film's release.
I don't remember that, but I just there was a lot of leaks and images and all sorts, but I didn't see that one.
There was that time where Marvel was getting leaks left, right, and center, and it just went quiet. And then Deadpool's come out now, and I think it has brought that Marvel feeling back. Where I'm now excited to see this Agatha series, the Captain America film. D23 is around the corner. They're going to show us the next phase of movies.
I think you two guys are the only two ones on Earth that are excited for Agatha.
I didn't say that. I was going to say I'm not excited for that. I was going to say I'm not excited for that.
Oh, you just left man on an island like that, yeah?
That's his business.
When he gives it a 5-star review, I'm
giving it 5-star, but I can still say I'm not excited for something.
No, when I mean like excited, I mean as in like there's that Marvel feeling, and I think it has been lost for a while. I'm not saying this is the best movie on Earth. Like it's not a Dune Part 2 or anything like, or an Oppenheimer. But I think back to my thing about cutting Marvel some slack. If you know, they had COVID, they had to change up their storylines, filming through COVID. Then their big bad Kang. He was supposed to lead us all the way to Secret Wars. Unfortunately, he messed that up. And now they're in this position where it's like that we're losing our core fan base. These TV shows aren't banging. We need to press the red button. Ryan Reynolds come in. Hugh Jackman come in. Cameos, we need the cameos in, and we're just gonna make an entertaining movie, like we both said in our reviews, Stephen and Mark. I think he said it as well. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, 48 hours, like that type of feel of movie, and I think they did very well in doing that. I don't think they ever set out to make a Winter Soldier or a Civil War, anything like that.
I mean, nobody was asking for that. It was Deadpool in the day, but you could have at least given us a story, especially when you've been bragging it's going to change the MCU. And like, if it was a standalone, I know in my head I know it's a standalone movie, it doesn't affect anything. Maybe we might see something later down the line, depending on how successful this film is, which it seems to be doing really, really well. But it could have given us just a little bit of a story, especially now you're bringing certain characters, like, you know, Wolverine technically was dead. There should be no reason to see Wolverine. You bring them back, and obviously they explain how they bring him back, but they could have gone a different way with the story and made it just give it a bit more, some more flavor to it to really, really stand. Like if you're gonna make a point to be here, then really, really make a point. Because after I give it a couple of months, everyone's gonna have forgotten about this movie. In my honest opinion.
Really, for real, like that, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I think the hype will die down, and they'll just be like, okay, cool. It'll be like the other Deadpool movies. Before Deadpool Wolverine, how many times did you guys go back to watch Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2? Oh wait.
I watched that. I actually liked Deadpool 1. Deadpool 2, I didn't watch as many times, but Deadpool 1 I did watch.
So you watched multiple times?
Yeah.
Okay, you must be the only one. What about you? What about you, Mouse?
No, I watched Deadpool 1 a few times. Maybe like two times, 3 times. But Deadpool 1, so Deadpool 2, I've only watched once, definitely. But I wasn't really a fan of that movie, to be fair.
Yeah, the second one was a bit hit or miss. But yeah, I just feel like the hype will die down because it's only got one trick, which is the Wolverine and the cameos. And once you get over that, there's nothing else to it. So
I must say, I am taken aback by how much you're ragging this movie.
Yeah, because I swear he gave it 4 out of 5.
I gave it 4 or 5. I'm just wait, no. Yeah, I did. I gave it 4 or 5 just on the entertainment wise in the cinema. But in my own review, I said the story wasn't strong. There was loads of plot holes.
Yeah.
But we're gonna still have. I still had a good time. So 4 or 5, getting people to go and watch the movie. But if we're gonna, I wasn't gonna do the whole like, well, as a movie, it's a 2 out of 5, but as a global film, it's a 5. I wasn't gonna do that, so I just gave it a 4. There you go. Right, bang in the middle with what I thought where I think it lands. But yes, I know, and most people know that once we're gonna get over the NSYNC bye, and the Wolverine and the cameos, we're gonna just move on. We're looking forward to what else. I do feel bad for them though a little bit with how this week has gone with other news that we've had.
Yes,
I feel like they could have waited for certain news to D23.
Yeah, well, at the end of the stream, we'll discuss that. But just touching on the plot. So I have, you mentioned plot holes at the start, Stephen, and I do have some plot holes with the story. Can you tell me your thoughts on the plot about Mr. Paradox and who the person upstairs? Who was that? Who do you think that was who chose Deadpool and why? And then Miles, it'll be up to you afterwards.
I still don't know who was upstairs. I don't know who's upstairs now. Before it used to be Kang, but I don't know if it's him anymore. Or is it Loki? I don't know. Really don't know. They don't explain anything, especially when they bring in his boss. I forgot what her name is, who's now like the boss of the TVA. She's like, what have we been doing? She doesn't know what's going on either. So I'm like, well, what's going on here? Obviously, I knew his plan. Like he wanted to take over the TVA, and he wanted to show, I guess, whoever her boss is, look, this is how we're doing it. We're not going to take thousands of years to prune a whole timeline. I've got this machine. It's going to quickly do it. I even bought Deadpool. You know, the good old Deadpool to be in the MCU. I don't know why he wants to bring Deadpool into the MCU exactly. I don't know why exactly the point is, but he wants to bring him in and trying to promote somewhere. Kissing the boss's ass upstairs. But who they are, I don't know.
Miles, who do you think? Who do you think it could be?
Yeah, I don't think it's anyone. I reckon he might have been lying because, like, later in the movie, when like the alarm goes off and it's like the unauthorized machine has been activated, I reckon he just did it to be a power play to show that he's about it and he can get his promotion, to show that he is above his station and is willing to take the difficult choices. So I reckon that's what his mission was. I'm not sure if he got a direct order to either choose Deadpool or to prune that timeline specifically. I reckon he might have just been done it on his own accord.
Do you think it could have been Loki, God of Stories?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'd want to say no, because Loki seems like he's just doing his own thing without giving any orders. He's just doing his own thing. But yeah, I wouldn't say Loki.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't even get the reason why you want to bring a Deadpool into the second timeline. Obviously, for us, it's fun, but in terms of like story-wise, I don't get it. Like, what makes him so special that he needs to be in the timeline? Especially when everyone finds him annoying, why does he need to be there? So that bit I didn't get.
The next plot hole that I had. Actually, no, I read this online. This didn't come from my brain, but I thought I'd share it with you guys. Mr. Paradox works for the TVA. The TVA exists outside space and time. Why does he care if it takes 1 million years or 1 hour for Deadpool's universe to end? It shouldn't matter to him. Time should not matter to Mr. Paradox. That's one thing I agree on with the story that made no sense. What do you say to that?
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So his vision, his mission. A lot of it didn't make a lot of sense. I don't even know what to say to that. Like, why would he? I think, like I said, I think he was just trying to show that I can do it quickly. I don't know why he wanted to show that he could do it quickly, and with his little machine.
But it's a massive plot hole, because it's like, if you exist outside of time, you shouldn't care how long something takes. It's gonna happen anyway.
Yeah, I feel like the answer to that question is because the story needed some stakes of time. You know, it needed like that countdown of 24 hours or 48 hours or 72 hours to complete the mission type thing.
Or, I just had a brainwave. The man upstairs knew that Mr. Paradox was going to do something like that to bring Deadpool in and Wolverine into the MCU. Maybe that is a catalyst for bringing Deadpool's universe into the MCU.
I mean, I could have thought of another idea that if only I knew that Deadpool movie actually is connected into the story of the whole MCU moving forward and the multiverse, then I would have said maybe Paradox isn't who he says he is. Maybe it's like he works for the Beholder or something. I don't know, some other character that's going to lead to Secret Wars, but I don't know what his gain is. I don't know. Not clear whatsoever at all. Just convenience, end of the day. So,
who do you think Earth 616's anchor being is?
I feel like it's Spider-Man.
I feel like
do this
Iron Man.
But then we would have started to see Earth decaying, right? Or that we would have had some inkling.
But yeah, you could say that. But also, when he was talking about the time, remember he was saying like it could take millions of years, so maybe, or even thousands of years. Maybe it decaying is the Secret Wars, or maybe it's gonna come in the future, or maybe that's the reason why stuff is gonna be happening in the future. I'm not sure. Yeah, I even like the anchor being. I just feel like it's a gimmick.
Because they already had the Nexus being, which was Wanda, and who else was the Nexus being? So someone else. I swear Doctor Strange was a Nexus being, right?
Okay.
And then now
when you say Nexus being, it's like in every timeline.
Yeah. So like, there's a Nexus being in every universe, and Wanda's one of them. Where I think it's a thing where she can like shift between universes and times and all of that stuff. Whereas I think if you're not a Nexus being, you can have multiple iterations of the same person.
Okay.
I could be totally wrong, but
I feel like it could be Spider-Man. I think that's what they might be. This is just my theory in the head, that's what they could be approaching in terms of, you know, we've got the Doomsday movie coming out. Such a weird title for Avengers. I'm thinking of DC when I say Doomsday. Yeah, with Doomsday coming out and the whole, you know, who recently got announced, and their relationship and him being, and this, I feel like it's going to be Spider-Man. I don't know. I got a feeling that he is. But also, technically, if it's a sacred timeline, shouldn't there not be an anchor anyways? The sacred timeline is like the main line. Why would that line, if they destroy that one, then doesn't the time just destroy completely? If that's the sacred timeline.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just read
I don't
online.
know.
So a Nexus being is any person or thing that has the power and capability to drastically affect probability and the timeline.
Doesn't that technically make Kang a Nexus as well then?
Technically, yeah. But he got eaten up by ants, so you know he ain't he ain't coming back.
That was one of them. That was one of them.
Oh,
Why
yeah,
is everyone so fixated with that as well? That didn't bother me. I don't know why it bothered everyone else.
Wasn't he the Prime Kang though?
No, he wasn't. They already told you that he wasn't. Remember they were like, oh, we got rid of him.
Oh yes, he was like He Who Remains with it, right?
Yeah. There's other Kang. And remember they showed the whole room and they had those four main ones talking before.
Yeah.
So it was just one Kang. It wasn't the main one.
But there has to be a Prime. There has to be an Alpha.
Yeah, but they haven't shown up. I think they were going to show him for the filtering. We're not going to get anymore. Come on, guys. There's no way they're going to... That doesn't make sense. There's no way they're hyping up a character and they kill him off in Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Not even like Iron Man from Ant-Man. Come on.
Yeah.
And they still... And they show us the after credits where there's a whole room of Kangs. Obviously, they're leading somewhere. So I don't know why I haven't got so like, oh my god, like, they're so dead. That's one variant. Got taken out doesn't mean the other ones would be taken out. I don't know. That didn't bother me. I know it bothered so many people, but I don't know.
You know what? I think Marvel did on My Wife and Kids and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know when they changed Claire and they changed Will's mum?
Yeah.
And I think that's what Marvel have done with the Nexus being. They just swapped it with Anchor and just said, yeah, everyone just forget about the past 2 years. This is what we're on now. We're on Anchor beings.
The truth of the matter is that we don't know. I'm hoping that they know what they're doing and everything will be properly reviewed by the time we get to the two Avengers movies. And obviously that would tell if they really had a plan or they're moving like Star Wars and just figuring out per episode.
But the thing about that is, I know kind of jumping ahead here, but the Avengers movies in 2026 and it starts filming next year. I don't know how they're gonna bring it around in a year.
Bro, they have to cram in. I mean, Agatha's got to do something then, which is not going to. And then Captain America's dealing with adamantium.
Yeah, I feel like Captain America will be like a more grounded story, even though we did see like a Celestial's hand in there. But I know Spider-Man will be before that. Spider-Man 4 will be before Avengers. So maybe we don't know what the storyline for that is yet. So maybe they might address something in there. And also you get in Fantastic. I think Fantastic 4 will be the kicker.
Yeah.
But even still, I don't know how you set that up and then execute it in a year.
Not unless they're gonna TV show us to death.
And I hope not. They said they was gonna give us less TV shows.
Because I know they're gonna
bring. Yeah, I know they're gonna bring Daredevil as well. The Daredevil show season 1's already been wrapped, but that's an entirely different. That's just more grounded stories.
Yeah.
What about Ironheart as well?
Bro, they can keep that.
Yo,
bro.
they can. Yo, how quickly did she build that Iron Man suit? She built it in like 2 seconds, right?
She built it like an afternoon or something.
She had vibranium. When you got vibranium, anything's possible, man.
That made me vex in the Black Panther 2 film. That was jarring. All right, cool. I've got 2 more points on the story, then we're going to move on to the characters. Another point is, where was the TVA with all of this? Where do you guys think it was?
In what way?
Because surely the TVA would have known something is happening in the void. That machine would have started bleeping, and they would have seen, oh crap, there's a tangent off on this line. What's going on here?
Do they monitor the void? I thought they never monitored the void. They send things there and that's it. I didn't think they monitored the void.
Like Deadpool.
From what I remember in Loki, I remember once they send you there, that's it. They're not bothered. They're like, because they know that what's that giant purple fake Galactus creature? I don't know what it's called.
Alive.
Yeah, it's gonna end up eating them. So they're not bothered. As soon as you go there, they're good. They're like, cool.
We got a question on the YouTube. What's good, D Movie Man? So he says, hey, do you think pulling back on the amount of films per year has helped us thus far? I realise there's only been 2 films on last year and only 1 this year.
I would have said yes, but now that we know that Avengers is coming out literally less than 2 years, I'm a bit concerned of where they're going story wise. It feels very rushed. I honestly thought that the next Avengers film was going to be like maybe 28, 27, but not 26. Then we got another one. Is it the year after as well?
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going. I think there's a part of me thinking they just want to wrap up this multiverse. They know they've messed it up. Let's just wrap it on. Let's start again, because I feel like they are going to do a hard reboot once this Secret War film is done. And that's going to be the new timeline. That's when they're going to bring X-Men and all that stuff. They just want to wrap this up because it's been a mess. And explaining why, obviously we know why certain things were a mess. And I understand their struggles, the challenges they had, but it has been a mess. They just want to wrap it up. But yeah, it does make me worry a little bit.
Miles, what's your thoughts?
I think to answer the question, I think we will get the answer in the coming years. To draw back on the amount of movies also means the amount of writing, hiring, production is scaled back, so you can focus in on fewer stories instead of spreading them across more. So I think the fruits of that will be in the next few years. But like Stephen is saying, it seems like they're trying to course correct again, but hopefully less means more in this case.
Yeah.
I agree with both of your points. I definitely agree with that. Hopefully, D Movie Man, I hope that answered your question. Thanks for joining the stream. One last bit. Cassandra Nova. I swear in the comics, Charles actually kills her in the womb, right?
I know he definitely attempts to wrap the umbilical cord around her neck.
So what got me is how she became so forgiving. She was supposed to be a cold-hearted killer and didn't reason with anyone, and then somehow Wolverine wooed her into letting them out of the void. That was another plot bit that I was a bit like,
If we get her motive didn't make any sense. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is your actual purpose? You just here. To me, she felt like, the kid that doesn't graduate from in America, where obviously you don't pass the year, you stay a year below. Sound like someone who didn't want to graduate, just staying there and just bullying all the little kids, thinking they're the big shot. That's what it felt like. Like, what are you doing here? You could have left here time ago. You could have done something with yourself. You're just here. Why?
That's what I don't understand. It's like she had that Doctor Strange ring just sitting there with a time stone and a reality stone that she didn't even use in the Deadpool universe. That's what got me. She could have warped the whole reality and then done what she needed to do. That made no sense as well.
She could have easily even got rid of. It seems like she could have got rid of. Sorry, I apologize. I forgot the name of that giant monster.
Goliath.
I feel like she could have got rid of him. Her powers just seemed like OP'd.
Yeah, her powers definitely seem OP.
Say again?
Her powers definitely seemed OP.
I feel like she could have got rid of him ages ago. Like, yep, done.
Who do you think wins? Khaleesi from Secret Invasion or Cassandra Nova?
Cassandra Nova.
What?
We definitely lose because we definitely seen that fight. Bloody hell.
Yeah, she would try whip out the one bicep and be like, "Yeah, let's go," and be like, "No, bro."
Whose bicep was that? Was that Drax? Whose bicep was that again?
It was Drax.
And Drax ain't even hard like that.
That haunts me till this day, man. It haunts me to this day. All right, cool. That was a bit on the story and initial impressions. What do you guys think of characters? Miles, going to start with you. What's your Deadpool analysis? What are your thoughts on Deadpool in this movie?
It's more of the same. I mean, it seemed like Ryan Reynolds said to Marvel, I don't want to make this movie unless you give me complete creative freedom. So he was just unhinged. He was just giving jokes a mile a minute. He was just every idea. He was just throwing it against the wall, and it had the classic Ryan Reynolds humor. Yeah, it was just ramped up to the max. He was probably the most unhinged I've seen him in all three movies.
Did you like it?
Did you like it?
Yeah. I did. Like I said in the beginning, if you like Deadpool, then this is just more of the same. But I did like, Deadpool. He done what he needed to do. I'm trying to think if at any point, at some points, it was a bit like the gift and the curse of freedom is sometimes you go overboard sometimes. So I did feel like sometimes it did color over the margins a little bit in terms of like, you didn't need to make a joke there, but it is Deadpool. The point of Deadpool is to be annoying, and sometimes, that annoying is not a good annoying.
Steven?
Yeah, it's weird because I know that Deadpool's annoying. He's supposed to be annoying to the other characters, but he was starting to annoy me a bit. I was like, okay, you're really Deadpool. It's now solidified that you are Deadpool. Like, no one else can play this role except for you, because you were starting to know me. I was starting to feel like Wolverine saying, "Shut the f up!" Like, just stop, just stop. But no, I thought his performance was good. I feel like I said, he was, as Mal said, definitely unhinged. It felt like he had full control, and I think this time in front of it that he could really take the mick out of Disney as well as the MCU, and say some of the stuff that some of us have been saying, especially about the multiverse. That cracked me up. And obviously, if you follow, film news in general and all the little rumors from other films, like the rumor between like Ryan Reynolds and Blade Trinity, there were so many references to that film and so many jokes. So all that just landed for me. My problem with the Deadpool overall, because he tells so many jokes, just like the other two movies, you're still laughing at a joke 10 minutes ago that you might have missed a couple of them later down the line, which does help with watching the film again to see what joke you missed. But that always annoys me sometimes. Like, oh, I didn't hear what you guys just said because I'm laughing at the one you just said about what's his name, the Human Torch and all sorts. But yeah, I thought it was good.
But two things I want to say about Deadpool. More about his actions than his character. One thing that I know it's Deadpool, he's meant to be funny, he's meant to be joking, but that initial scene where he dug up Logan's grave and he's like kicking it about, I didn't like that. It felt like it kind of it's a bit far to say ruining the legacy of Logan, but I felt like it was disrespectful. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And also,
the director of Logan, he wasn't happy about that either. To be fair.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's expressed his feelings online. He was not happy about how they ruined the legacy of Logan, according to him.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bit far in terms of like ruining the legacy. Like, that movie will always be what it is, but I felt like he's kicking his skull around and like using his bone as a weapon. I didn't particularly like that, but also I feel like it's a cheat code for Deadpool when he makes these like very meta, self-aware jokes. It allows them to get away with it themselves. So he could be like, okay, I know, he turned to the camera and say, I know the plot is trash, typical Marvel. But then the plot for his own movie is trash. But because he made a joke about it, we kind of give it a bly, So I feel like that's a bit of a cheat code. He could just run that like in every movie and he can get away with it.
I agree with both of your points. I thought Ryan was brilliant in this movie. And you know what? This film, I said this in my review as well. I mean, you guys know the backstory of how this Deadpool franchise came about, right?
Yeah.
And I think this movie was a testament to all of that. Because if you think back then, they were like, nah, we don't want to do this film. And then he was like, all right, cool, I'm just going to leak the footage online anyway. And then they were forced into making a Deadpool movie. And there's one thing getting them to do it, but then delivering on that promise. First film, second film, we can say wasn't as good as the first film. But I think the third film, to elevate it to that level, I think he did a brilliant job. And I think it's very clever for Marvel. And I'm not a big fan of meta stuff in general. I didn't like it in She-Hulk. There was another thing I didn't like it in. There's another, I can't remember. But with Deadpool, I think he like represented us, because we're frustrated with Marvel because you're not putting out bangers. You're just trying to do Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, starting off well and just like tanking at the end. Secret Invasion, I don't know what that was. So like for me watching it, it was like Ryan was saying all the things I want to say to Kevin Feige. And I thought that was a smart move, because we can now kind of forgive them a bit. So, all right, cool, we can give you a second chance.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It was good to make sure that it was perceived, at least, that Marvel were listening to the fans and are aware of the mistakes and are down to course correct. Because like we have a lot of heroes that and shows that they've given us that they're kind of on the wayside, and I don't really see a way for them back into the main storyline, especially with the stuff that's been announced, like bringing these heroes back up to speed and then moving forward with the universe. Like you have Miss Marvel and, like you said, Moon Knight and She-Hulk and Deadpool, and you got the X-Men coming in. Like it's a lot going on.
What do you guys think of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine performance? What's your analysis on that, Stephen?
I'm still in two minds of which one's my favorite performance of Wolverine, that one or the one from Logan, because it was up there for me. I love the version it gave me. I didn't like the whole I'm drunk, I'm an alcoholic. I didn't like all that part, but the rage, like my favorite scene out of the whole movie is when they're arguing inside the car and Wolverine is telling Deadpool off. That is my favorite. So I would watch that again and again.
That felt too real.
Yeah, that felt
like he was talking to Ryan saying, "Can you?" I was like, "Raw." That went further than the film.
Yeah, man was spitting and everything as well. I said, I can see the spit. I said, this is great. Yeah, he was great. I mean, I think Hugh Jackman, regardless of what they give him to work with, you always give 110% to the character Wolverine. He always delivers on Wolverine. You know that the story might be rubbish, the villains might be just out of this world, but you just know that Hugh Jackman's going to give everything he can to the character Logan, whatever version he's playing. And I thought he really delivered, and I think the dynamic between them two really, really worked between them. Because I know they're friends outside of work, I know that their families know each other and all that stuff there. So you could really tell. But yeah, great performance from Hugh Jackman. And he has now made it official. It's made it very difficult for whoever plays Wolverine next when they decide to make a new Wolverine. It's got big shoes to fill. I even heard Kevin Feige say that when they decide to bring a new Wolverine, they're going to have to make sure the Wolverine's played differently to Hugh Jackman because, yeah, you can't compete. But yeah, great performance.
I think it's safe to say we're going to have Wolverine up until Secret Wars. And I think post yeah. How long has he played this character? Is it like it's over 15 years, right?
I think it's over 20 years.
Wow.
It's 24 years.
Wow.
Yeah. X-Men 1 was 2000.
Yeah, 2000.
Miles, what's your thoughts on Wolverine in this movie?
I really liked Wolverine. I liked to peer into like the multiverse. This was like the real multiverse of madness. I don't know why they called Doctor Strange that, but
yeah,
they gave us a glimpse of several different Wolverines. I really like that brown suit. I wish we can see that again.
That was hard.
Yeah, that was a great
fights
suit.
The Hulk, right?
Yeah, when he fights the Hulk.
Yeah.
We also got to see Short King Wolverine, comic book accurate Wolverine. That's like 5'2". I want to see what you guys feel about that. Do you feel like moving forward that they might just cast a shorter actor, or they will just go along with like the tall, good-looking Wolverine? But overall, yeah, good performance. I always respected Hugh Jackman as an actor. In the lead up to this, I'd done like a Hugh Jackman rewatch, and I had a newfound, even more respect for Hugh Jackman as an actor, because he has great range, great emotional range, and that's the only thing in this movie I wished they gave him a little bit more with like X-23 in terms of like the emotional scenes that they killed. I felt like they kind of did that storyline dirty for me. But overall, Wolverine was good. More of the same. Tortured soul. He was able to convey that very well.
Mm.
And I like that they mentioned the X-Men, but we didn't need to see it to understand from his performance. His performance was so strong, we understood, like, right, okay, something went down. We didn't need to visually see it. I would have loved to have seen it, but I was still happy.
I felt like it would have been great if I was seeing it, because when he explained what happened, I was like, is that it? Is that why you're moping around?
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
I was buying it.
So, to confirm, this Wolverine is the Wolverine that we've always been watching, right?
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not.
No. So,
I thought it was. Okay.
So Logan is the Wolverine we've watched. So,
Are we? Okay, yeah, go on.
And then this Logan, he went off drinking somewhere, and then his X-Men all got bodied off by humans.
Fair enough.
And then he's returned back. And then,
because what I was gonna say, like, based on the,
I don't get bodied by humans. Come on.
I think Sentinels.
Probably yes, probably must be the Sentinels. But I was gonna say, I didn't feel like, because of the story was that he abandoned his X-Men, I didn't feel like the Fox Wolverine would be the type of character that would abandon his X-Men like that. But as you guys are saying that it's not the same one, then I retract my statement.
See, in my head, you know me, when I'm watching the film, I'm even trying to rewrite the film. When he said, I've done something, I was thinking it was going down the plot of, like, in X-Men The Last Stand, which is like one of the worst ones, when the whole thing with Jean, and Jean said, kill me, and he went, and then in that time, like, he said no, and Jean wiped out everyone, and then he killed them. I thought maybe that would have been more dramatic or something, because we have a connection to that story, we understand that story. But I was like, man went to Carnage at uni, and everyone was dead. That's dead.
Oh my days! What a throwback! It's not Thursday, but that's a throwback, man. Carnage! Oh my days! Mad.
Shout out to Carnage, boy. Good times. Anyway, I don't think that worked. But like I said, Hugh Jackman knows what to work with, whatever he's been given. So,
do you think? The fan casting for Wolverine was in this film. So we're moving on now to the. Actually, no, wait. I'll pause that. The villains in the film, or the villain. What were your thoughts on the villain and the whole story arc? Start with you, Stephen.
Are we talking about Cassandra Cain, or whatever her name is?
Well, there were two villains. You had Mr. Paradox and Cassandra Nova. So, yeah.
They literally fell into the same old formula of Marvel's really unforgettable villains. They didn't do anything for me. Some of the powers from Cassandra look great, but in terms of like a story arc, don't care for it. I don't care to see her again. And Paradox, I thought he was quite funny. I thought he had really good comedic timing with Deadpool, but as a villain, no. It's one we're gonna forget about. I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to compare him to, like, obviously the bar is to me like Thanos, but at least give me, I don't know, Hela from Thor Ragnarok or something, and it wasn't that for me. So,
well, who was the villain in Guardians 3?
What's his name again?
The High Evolutionary.
Yeah, Face Off.
Yes,
he was hard as well. He was just under Thanos for me. He was just under.
Really?
Thanos. Yeah,
just under.
I thought his performance was really good.
Yeah, the acting performance was really good.
I just think, obviously, the scale of Guardians didn't reach Endgame, so we weren't able to see a Thanos-level villain, but I thought, in terms of performance, yes. Mars, what are your thoughts on Mr. Paradox and Cassandra?
Mr. Paradox, I think both of them were pretty forgettable, to be honest. At certain times, Mr. Paradox felt like he was part of a different movie. And Cassandra Cain like we kind of alluded to earlier, I feel like her motivations were just like throwaway. As you said, it kind of undermines everything when she could have just escaped at any time. But it was really throwaway. I thought it was nothing. I've even forgotten what her motivations are already. That's how forgettable it was. But in terms of what she did, one memorable thing is her power. Like her hand is able to phase through people's like skull and read their mind by putting her literal hand on their brain. I thought that was great. I would love to see that in like a horror movie, something like the fingers poking through the eye and the nose and the ears. I thought that was great. But in terms of like the villain itself, forgettable.
Yeah, it did feel like I feel like when I forgot the actor's name, but the guy who played Mr. Paradox, I think he just told him, do what you've been doing in Succession, but we just need a little bit of funnier. Just do that, because that's exactly what he was doing. But yeah, I would have loved Cassandra to be in. I know no one talks about this film anymore, but the New Mutants, because I know they were going for like it's supposed to be like mutant / horror movie, and I feel like she would have fit probably better in that movie as the villain, and trying to manipulate Xavier's new mutant students. That would have been an interesting tale, but yeah.
Do you think she would have been OP for that film though? Because how would they beat her?
They would eventually beat up. They could have had Xavier come at the end to save their butt.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. But in terms of like, especially with her with the fingers and get inside their minds and how she can literally just do whatever, like make something walk around, it would have been really, really scary. I think that would have been more effective than her in this movie.
I said this in my review, and it's very rare that I say this. I think this film suffers from being too short. I actually think this film could have done with an extra like 20, 25 minutes to make it like a 2.5 hour film. The only reason why I say that is because I think we didn't get enough time with Cassandra to understand her, her motives and stuff. I think the story would have done better with a longer time because they wouldn't have had to rush everything. Because that film was running at 100 miles an hour from the minute go to the end. It was so I just think that this film could have done better with more time added to it.
I guess I preferred the time, especially because the story was so paper thin. If they had dragged it with the story that they had, I think that would have really I think that would have.
No, I was going to say no.
With a better story, yes, make it longer.
They would have to obviously improve the story, but I think having a longer runtime, they would put more things into the actual narrative to beef it out and make it more cohesive.
The problem as well, I think, because they only how many locations? I think 3 locations.
Yeah.
TVA, The Void, and then Ryan Reynolds as well. And obviously we had the montage when he went to different timelines of Wolverine. But I wish we just got more, because that trailer gassed us up. When we saw them jump through the Doctor Strange,
they're
gonna go everywhere. They're gonna go to the end battle, the end game. They're gonna go here, and they didn't do that. So maybe if they did make the film longer, we could have had more scenes like that. That's just them mucking about. Even if it was just like a montage at the end, just another montage, I wouldn't mind. But they didn't do that. They really, like I said, the story's paper thin, so I didn't expect it to be any longer than it was.
I would have loved more time with him picking the right Wolverine. Like, you see how Spider-Verse did, what's his name? Donald Glover in the actual cartoon.
Yeah.
It would have been sick if Ryan Reynolds went into X-Men 97 and then something.
Oh, that would have been fun.
That would have been sick. And then I think we should have seen at least a minute of Hulk versus Wolverine. You can't tease us like that. I know it's pulled from a comic book cover, but they could have at least given us 30 seconds to a minute of a Wolverine fight. And like Deadpool just sitting on a rock, just eating popcorn, like talking to us in the fourth wall.
Yeah, that would have been an extra 100 million on top of that budget. Boy.
I mean, that's why they've made this new smart Hulk, because it's cheaper, I think, than to make the actual Hulk. I think that's why they just got rid of Hulk.
And even even the fight or the 2 seconds of Red Hulk that we saw in the Captain America 4 trailer, I thought it looked like She-Hulk level CGI. So hopefully between now and next year, they can. Obviously, it's just a trailer, but they can fix it up. Because yeah, I wasn't liking the look of it.
You think it was the same level as She-Hulk? I think it was better than She-Hulk.
Boy, it looked a bit smooth for my liking, but it was just 2 seconds.
The calf muscle weren't defined enough.
Nah.
All right, cool. So we're moving when they're close to the end. Let's talk about the cameos, man. Cameo 1, Chris Evans, Johnny Storm. I didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't see that coming.
And I thought that was good.
Yeah, it was good. I liked how they wrote you in to make you believe one thing and then took you to a complete another place. That was really good.
I thought it was a version of Cap. And I'm thinking, okay, cool, we're going to see the Shield and he's going to get bodied. But to have him in the Fantastic Four, I was like, raw, okay. This is how we're starting.
Well, that's not how they started. The first cameo we saw was Henry Cavill as
let's
Wolverine.
rewind it. And that's what I was going to touch on. You mentioned Kevin Feige said the next person who plays Wolverine is going to play a different version. Could you see Henry Cavill taking that mantle?
He's a proper beefcake Wolverine. I don't know if that would work for me personally.
And you see how
he's popping around.
You see how he recharged his hands in the film?
Yeah, like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, that was come like Jack from Tekken.
How is he so wham though? That's the thing.
Yeah,
like
he's wham.
He's not even in any. Well, he's probably filming a movie, but is he just like wham like that? Like
isn't he doing that Warhammer film? Isn't he doing that Warhammer film right now?
I'm not even. I know he's doing Highlander.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, he's a what do you call them? Is it manager or agent? Is the Rock's ex-wife? So I think that's in the contract. You must stay in shape in case we need you for the next big strong man film. We need you in something else. So
because the fan casting of the next Wolverine, because I thought we were gonna get different people playing different Wolverines, like the patch one. What's his name? Daniel Radcliffe or what's his name? The guy who Kingsman. What's his name? Egerton. Edgerton. What's his first name?
Can't remember.
It's Danny Boy. That's what it is. It's Danny Boy.
Elton. I think his name is Elton.
Johnny.
So whatever his name is, hopefully he never sees this live in years to come. But
Taron Egerton.
That's it. Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
He's in a good show on Apple TV called, I think, Black Mass. It's a good show. But I thought we were going to see like them two in the film.
Say again. Repeat again. You broke up. Say again.
Oh, I thought we were going to see Daniel Radcliffe as Patch and Taron Egerton as a different variant of Wolverine. I didn't see Henry Cavill coming.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Do you know what would have been really funny? I know this is so random that we got like a black Wolverine and it was Terrence Howard. I think I would have just cracked myself just.
Yeah.
That would have been great. But yeah.
So that was the first one, Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. Then you had Daphne Keane. Yo, where I was sitting, there were two. I think Miles was like on my left, upper left. I don't know if you knew the guys that were sitting next to me. There
was two guys behind you or sitting next to you.
Nah, behind me.
Yeah, they were going crazy,
bro. The way they were talking about her, I was like, guys, you know she's like 19, right? In my head, I'm thinking, bro, it was nuts.
That man are moving like Drake, bro.
Trust me. I was like, yo, it's just a film. I was thinking, are you really saying this in the cinema? But yeah, Daphne Keane coming back as X-23. I mean, that got leaked in the trailer, the week before?
Yeah.
And I think they said they had to put it in there because she was going to the premiere. So
yeah, she said that she wanted to go to the premiere.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had to put it in there.
But
she could have still. But as nonsense because like Anthony Mackie went to the premiere, but he's not in the movie.
True.
So you did have to You didn't have to pull in there. She could have just been there and then.
And that, what's her name? America Chavez. She's at every Marvel premiere, bro. Like, it's like in her contract. She's like, yeah, you got to appear.
That's what she's got, bro. That's what she's got at the moment, blood. That's what she's got.
What that? What's her power? Just punch the sky, punch thin air.
Punch through portals and stuff.
That's it.
But apparently she's learning to be like a wizard, like Doctor Strange. So she's going to be his apprentice, I think. That's what she's training to.
That apparently in the Marvel universe, there's only one America Chavez and one Galactus. So there's going to be beings where there's no multiple versions of them. So they're probably going to come up with another term for that. But that was just a sidetrack. And then, I mean, touching on Daphne Keane, I mean, I weren't really up. I mean, I know you texted the group, don't go on Twitter because there's a spoiler. This was before the big spoilers that hit on the day. And then I ended up seeing it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not too mad at seeing Daphne. I expected it. Yeah, she didn't really do much in the film, apart from the campfire scene. I was expecting more, especially with how she left her Wolverine. I thought there would have been, to Miles's point, more of a emotional story between her and Wolverine. It was kind of like glossed over.
Yeah, it did feel like very like last minute, like, oh, let's just throw X-23 into the story because people want to see it. I think they must have saw a post on Twitter. They said, oh yeah, she's part of the Disney camp. She's in Star Wars. Let's just bring her a couple 2 days here on set. And this is still gonna sound a bit sad, but I feel like she performed better when she was a kid than in this movie. She was way much better in that Logan movie. So much better. And what happened to her accent? What happened to her South American accent? It was gone.
Is she in the Acolyte?
Say again?
Is she in the Acolyte?
Yeah, she's in the Acolyte. Yeah.
Is she good in the Acolyte?
You've seen her. You've seen her. She's one of the Jedi's. She's the one with the alien with the white skin and the blonde hair.
Her?
Yeah, that's that thing. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Mars. What did you think of Daphne?
Yeah, it's difficult because, like I said, she didn't really get much to do. She got the one fighting scene with all the other, cameos. But I'm going to ask a similar question: which version of X-23 is she?
She's from Logan.
Yeah, I thought she was the Logan version.
Yeah, so I thought so as well. I just wanted to confirm, but even more so, I thought there would have been more of a emotional reaction or more emotional scenes, bearing in mind she saw her father, quote unquote, die. She has never seen him in his prime, really. It's been however long since the events of Logan, and she's seen him for the first time, and she kind of just looked at him, and then they had the one fireplace scene, and even then it was just like it wasn't really given what it was supposed to give.
To answer to that, I think obviously because she's been in the void, she knows about variants and stuff. So when she saw him, she knew that wasn't her Logan. That she knew, and even then, I think she's got used to, because the Logan that she met, her father, I guess, was reluctant to help her. She just knew that he wasn't the one that she'd read from the comic books as a child. So I think she's over that. Like, it's almost like when she found that Santa isn't real. That's the energy I got from her. Like, yeah. So when this other Wolverine come and he's drunk, she's like, I've seen this before, man. Even then, you told yourself he wasn't a hero. The other one didn't tell us a hero. Yeah, you just do the right thing. I know you're going to do it, but just do it. Hurry up, because...
Well, I also feel like they, unless I'm mistaken, you can tell me if I missed it, I don't think they ever acknowledged her as his daughter in this film. Was it ever mentioned at any point?
No, I don't think so. No,
I don't think this new Wolverine even.
I think Deadpool explained to her though. I think Deadpool explained to Wolverine who she was.
Okay, by the end,
Wolverine said Deadpool told Wolverine the whole thing, like, she's a clone of you, blah blah this.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But because he's alcoholic, it didn't do nothing. It was just like, okay, cool, safe.
But speaking of cameos, yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that, in the Deadpool court with all the different Deadpools, the cowboy one was Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, there was a few.
What?
Yeah, there was a few. Yeah, don't watch the credits. You see all the names. It's crazy.
And
Wow.
Lady Deadpool, I believe, was his wife,
Yeah,
Blake Lively, as
she's
well.
she's in the end credits.
And even some of his kids were like Baby Pool and Kid Pool.
And then they had the guys from what's his TV show? Welcome to Wrexham. I think there was a couple guys from the team in there.
Yeah. He was the Welsh Pool.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you guys saw the picture, but there was also like a Sorcerer Supreme Deadpool as well. He was wearing like a grey hoodie, something. I thought that was in. We didn't really get to see too much of him, but he's in there.
I didn't catch that, but I'm watching it again this week, so I'm gonna start looking out for little
things that you missed.
Yeah. All right, now we're moving on to the big boy cameos. Jennifer Garner as Elektra from Daredevil and the Elektra movie. I didn't see that coming. There were rumors.
I didn't think we were getting her. I thought we would have got Daredevil. Especially because her film wasn't exactly praised when it came out.
Yeah.
And she was a bit forgettable in the Daredevil movie itself. So I definitely didn't see that coming. But I thought it was the Daredevil. But she was fine. I think she had more of a. She felt like she was like almost like the captain of the crew. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
So they did give her more stuff to do. I have to say, the fight scenes that involved the cameos, except for one, was probably one of the worst fight scenes I've seen in the MCU. The way it was filmed as well. Close up. We're talking about X-23, Elektra, Blade, and you guys had them all close up. It was rubbish. It was like okay, that's it. It did feel like they were all on set for like an hour. We have an hour with these cameos.
Yeah. Let's
get something done. We didn't have time to do any choreographed fights for like weeks and weeks beforehand and get them out of here. It was so disappointing. That bit was disappointing with the cameos.
Miles, what do you think of Elektra before we move on to the
I thought it was nice to see her, but I don't really have any resonance towards that character or affinity. I don't really have any affinity towards that character, and I'm gonna make a confession. I don't think I've ever seen Elektra the movie. I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
You've not missed anything.
Yeah, I saw it once and I was like, I never want to see it again.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've seen the Ben Affleck Daredevil, but I've never watched Elektra the movie. But it was nice to see her again, but that wasn't one of the ones that will make me cheer. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of cheer,
I mean, it was funny to see her make that joke, that little slide joke about Ben Affleck. That was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Daredevil was dead. She's like, I'm over it. It's fine. That was funny.
Yeah.
And little jab. That was funny.
Yeah. Because I think do you reckon they're on good terms? Because I think
I don't think so.
Maybe the original plan would have been to bring in Daredevil and Elektra.
Yeah.
Because we've got our Daredevil in the MCU, so it would make sense. But yeah, they wouldn't be on set together. I don't think. But yeah, I think the biggest cheer of the night in our screening. And this one, I mean, Stephen, I know you got this ruined on the morning for you, so I feel for you. But
what a shame.
Myself and Miles, we had no idea. Man like Wesley Snipes coming back as Blade. I think that tops Tobey Maguire and what's his name? Andrew Garfield in Spider-Man.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I need to think on that one.
Because
I need to think about that as well. I think I need to think about that as well.
You know why it tops it for me? Because how on earth do you keep a Wesley Snipes Blade undercover?
Yeah, I hear it.
Because we knew Toby and Andrew were in Spider-Man. That leaked way before.
Yeah. I'm gonna do you a favor, because this is a nice little clip for you that you can take and put on Insta or TikTok. So tell me, Lowry, why Blade cameo is more impactful for you than the cameo of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and stuff in Spider-Man No Way Home. You have the floor.
Because Blade is what started what we're watching now. Blade started the MCU. And that first Blade film is iconic. And that transcended. I don't even think people. Actually, no, I was with my brother, and he was like, "What? Blade's Marvel?" that film was so good, people didn't associate it with being a comic book movie. It was just a bad boy film. And I think Wesley, at that time, he was just a man of the moment. And I love that first Blade film. Second one was good. Third one, that one we can forget. But I just think the whole, kind of like the first Matrix, not putting them on the same level in terms of film piece, but Blade, the swag, the swords, the glasses, the music, everything about that film, it just brings me back to when I'm younger, first seeing that Blade movie. So seeing him 30 years later, or 20 years later, in an MCU film, in a Deadpool movie, I was just like, wow.
That's crazy.
I have to disagree with you a little bit on who has the more impactful scene, the Spider-Man or Blade. Blade, obviously, I think it works if you're over 35. I mean, over 30. If you're over 30 and you grew up watching Blade, because I know there was loads of young people who went to go watch. I mean, I was in a podcast recently with the Outtake guys, and they don't really know about Blade. Blade had no real effect on him.
That seems so crazy to me.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I know that's crazy, but that's the risk, because you have to think about it as well. It came out at the beginning of the Marvel, but most young people, their Marvel is probably Spider-Man and then the MCU, because Spider-Man is just like this popular character, yeah. And it's Blade was what was the certificate? 18 as well. So you had to really know what was going on, and people didn't even, like you said, people didn't even know that Blade is even part of the Marvel. I mean, I think Marvel didn't want to associate themselves with the film at first. It's only when it became really popular the second they started putting Marvel logo at the beginning of the film for the other sequels. So I think like I said, if you're over 30, yeah, it hit really, really hard. But I think the Spider-Man hit in terms of across all generations, that one hit more, I think.
Miles, what are you saying?
Oh, that's a tough one. I feel like for now I'll go Spider-Man, and I would say Blade was more unexpected, but you got Maguire and Garfield. I feel like two might shade better than one.
But this
it was definitely more surprising though.
I mean, I was surprised he's in the movie just because I know the so-called rumor between him and Ryan Reynolds and them beefing on Blade Trinity.
He said they pieced up ages ago.
Yeah, because everyone's so good now. Everyone's making money. Of course they're going to say it now. But back then, the rumor was for time that they couldn't stand each other. Wesley Snipes could not stand Ryan Reynolds. He couldn't stand anything in the film. Man didn't even open his eyes in that one scene.
When you posted that video, Miles, I was laughing for a whole day.
I can't believe
he did that.
He's so big.
I would have loved to have been on the set that day when they're like, Wesley, please, like, just open your eyes, bro, please.
we just need one shot. Whose
eyes did they use? Black man eyes, bro. That was not Wesley's eyes. Oh man, but no, I think, you know what? I think nostalgia's getting me. I think in the weeks to come, maybe I'll settle down and Spider-Man. But I just think the fact that they held down Blade with not even like a leaker on Twitter knew that was going to happen.
I think also that a part that plays into it is the fact that, like what Stephen was saying, the action scenes weren't given. Like in Spider-Man, when they were like in tandem, they're doing like synchronized web slinging, but with Blade, the cameo was great, but he didn't really. Obviously, he's older, so he can't do what he could do back in the day.
Yeah.
But Blade wasn't able to like relive those like thick action scenes. I don't even think he had his sword. He had a few catchphrases, but he wasn't like moving like he was. Like they kept on rinsing this like super quick, then slow down. So even with Gambit as well, they kept on doing that. I didn't like that at all.
I think he only said that one line. You know the line he says in Blade 1, like, motherfuckers always trying to go up, what's it, the hill?
Yeah.
That made people laugh, because that's like one of the worst lines ever. That's up there for me with Storm's line in X-Men 1. But yeah, that was funny. But yeah, like I said, yeah, it was great to see him. they didn't really do much of him. There was like so many opportunities where they could have. Like I was thinking Deadpool was going to give him one of his katanas, and then he'd just go on a slice and die. He didn't even do that. And like I said, the way it was shot as well. Oh god,
you remember that film Prey, the Predator spin-off film?
Yeah.
You see, like towards the end when she has her moment with the axe, and she has it on the rope, and she's able to like use it like Captain America shield.
Yeah.
Like Blade, you're right. Blade needed a moment like that. Like Deadpool gets punched, his sword flies out, and then Blade catches it and then goes mad. Like it did need like a Reggie and Bad Boys moment. You guys are right. You guys are right. But the guy who got his moment in the film though was Gambit. Channing Tatum. He was hard.
See, I'm also mixed on him as well.
It was hard.
It was fun to see him. But it made me. I was like, oh, okay. I'm glad you got to finally play this character. But at the same time, I was like, I'm so glad we didn't get that film because I don't think it would have worked, especially if it was that version that he was doing. Obviously, I don't know if it was just like, okay, let's just go full jokes with the accent, the outfit as well. Obviously, I know Channing Tatum's a bit pudgy than he was in the day, but it just made me feel like, yeah, I'm kind of glad we didn't get. If it was that version, I'm glad we didn't get the version of the Gambit movie that they were, begging for so many years. But it was good to see him as a redemption. Like, oh, finally got to play this character, and he was like the funniest, like one of the funniest jokes in that movie with the accent, no one hear what he was saying. But yeah, it was cool. But I am like mixed. I'm mixed with the whole Gambit cameo.
Ken Reviews in the chat. He said, "Man, respect Elektra, decent for its time."
Let it be where it is. Don't worry. You can have Elektra and you can keep it, bro.
We've got to get him on here to talk about Elektra, man. Mars, what are you saying about Channing Tatum as Gambit?
Yeah, he was one of my favorite parts of the movie in terms of I'm very happy that he got to actualize that dream because he tried to self-produce and make that thing happen. So it'd have been unfortunate if he never got to like don the mantle officially, but he was able to. I think he definitely played up the jokes because it wasn't a Deadpool movie. And he was in Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds as well, and he was super funny in that as well. I think his comedic chops are underrated. Yeah. I want to see more. Obviously, he was in like 21 Jump Street as well.
My name's Jeff.
And I would like to. I didn't think that his action scenes were good though, and I think his costume was an example of when being super comic book accurate. It doesn't look good, but I think they've done that because again, casuals wouldn't know if he was just like, I remember in the old X-Men films, he was just wearing like a trench coat. I don't think people would have recognized him. So I get why they done it, but it didn't look good though.
I thought his action scenes were sick, where we did the whole card thing, and then he flicked it to that 5-man, jumped into the center, and then it blew them up all at once. I thought it was sick.
It was decent, but it reminded me of like Step Up 1 when he was like going on the floor and shit like that. If you go on Step Up 1, yeah, like when he's dancing in the rain and all of that, I'm telling you, he's using the exact same moves.
So that's missing is a Timberland beat or something.
You know what's mad? Like the only reason why the Gambit movie didn't happen was because Disney bought Fox.
He was going to be in X-Men Wolverine, the origin movie, but he was in G.I. Joe because of schedule conflict. So he's like, I'm going to do G.I. Joe because I'm going to be the lead, and then we're going to have a franchise, and that didn't happen. Is he coming back from the Transformers movie? Do you know?
Is that the one with Marlon Wayans?
Yeah, it was the first one.
I don't know.
He was technically G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember that actually, that scene where they had like the bionic suits and they're like running around the city and shit.
Yeah,
like
bro, Marlon Wayans was getting hit by cars, I think in Paris, and he was like skidding on his back and stuff. It was like, I was like, what the heck is going on?
Only regret The only thing they missed that they fumbled on the gambit was he didn't say the line. Maybe because I don't know whether they were aware of what was happening in X-Men '97. But when she said the name is Gambit, remember it. If he had said that, there would have been like a proper cheer in the cinema as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
One cameo that I just remembered, and I said this in the cinema. Did you guys see what was the name of the robot at the end of She-Hulk? The camera with the 3 eyes.
What? Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin's at the end of the film. You know when Chris Evans is where Deadpool actually plays what Chris Evans said.
Yeah.
If you look in when it peers up, it's actually Kevin looking down at him.
Oh, I did not notice that, to be fair.
Yeah, I didn't clock that at all.
Which makes me think
Is Kevin the boss that they're referring to?
well, was Kevin now in She-Hulk, and is Deadpool the character that can rewrite what things like storylines and stuff and what people say, because he's able to break the fourth wall. That got me thinking. I was like, oh, okay, Kevin's in here. I was like, okay.
I can't lie. Anything She-Hulk related, I got PTSD from it.
I think I'm the only person on the planet that actually loves She-Hulk.
Oh,
Wait, you
man.
like
I was
the
like, this is
series?
so comic. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I was like, this is so comic accurate. I love this.
I like the actress as well. I thought she's calm, but that
Yeah, I like
series, I was like, nah.
Stephen, are you sure it wasn't just to see Meg the Stallion twerk in that one episode?
No, that was a really bad scene, but everything else was hilarious. Especially that last episode where they break the fourth wall.
Yeah,
I was in tears of laughter. So this is great.
When it goes meta like that, that's when I don't like Matrix. That new Matrix, whatever that was, when it went meta like that, She-Hulk. I don't like when things are done like that.
I think I didn't. I'll be kind of going off on a tangent, but yeah, I feel like from the episode 1, I don't like when they have to put down one character to boost up another one. So I remember in the first episode, they like kind of put down Hulk. Everything that Hulk struggled to do, she could just do off the bat.
Yeah,
and she was like saying, "Oh, you don't know what it means to be get angry because you're not a woman and stuff." I was like, "Oh God."
Oh, I didn't like that. That was like, come on, this is the Hulk you're talking about. This guy,
man, he went through so much, bro.
Say again?
He went through so much.
Yeah, exactly. And then for you to like belittle and say it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
All right, we're near the end. I know, Miles, you've got your dinner to get to, and Stephen, did you eat beforehand or?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, cool.
All right.
We'll wrap it up and.
He's fasting.
But all right, what's your conclusion on the whole film? I know you guys touched upon it at the start, but do you like it less from watching it last week? Are your feelings still the same? Do you like it more? You're gonna watch it again? I'll start with Stephen with this question.
I think I still like it the same, but I'm fully aware of the flaws it has in this movie. I had it from the beginning. I said it is what it is. Take it as it is. I know it's not a movie. It's just it's an event, especially if you're watching it with hardcore Marvel fans and in the cinema. It's going to be just a good time. If you really want to know, I will say to other people who only seen it once and they watched it with a crowd and they're saying it's the best thing since Endgame or the best MCU movie, try watching it again, but like early in the morning, like one of the first showings at a cinema where there's like 1 or 2 people in the cinema. You're gonna get your real feelings of what you think of the film. Like you'll be like, oh, yeah, that joke didn't land like it used to, like it did. Like that was funny because everyone was laughing. But yeah, it's like I said before, it was a fun movie. Time would tell. I mean, all these people were hyping it, saying it's one of the best films. It's in the top 5 of MCU movies. I don't know about that. I don't know what they're smoking. But yeah, it's a fun movie. It doesn't harm the MCU because I think it's a standalone. I don't think it's going to have major effects on. I mean, there wasn't even a proper after credit scene that led to anything else. I mean, it stands on its own. It's a nice way to end the Deadpool trilogy, unless they decide to make more. We'll probably find out in the next couple of days when they get to 1 billion. But yeah, it was a fun time. Great fun time. But that's all it was. a fun time.
On your point, top 5 MCU movies. This is based on Rotten Tomatoes, so just take it with a pinch of salt. Black Panther's number 1. Avengers Endgame. Iron Man. Thor Ragnarok. No Way Home. That's the top 5.
Black Panther's probably my top 10, but not even top 5.
That list is stinky.
That's a crazy list. I can't even lie.
Yeah, that list is bad.
This is Rotten Tomatoes as well. This is the tomato meter. So like, is this the fan one or the critic? Oh no, it's the critic. It's not the audience score. So it's the critics.
Well, and Black Panther was marked more than Endgame, more than Infinity War.
Bro,
and
Infinity War don't even come in the top 10. It's number 15.
And where does Captain America Winter Soldier land?
Number 12.
No, I can't get out of here. That's a stinker.
Yeah, we need to rewrite that still. Miles, your conclusion on Deadpool, are you hating it even more? Same? Or...
I don't think I hated
it. I'm joking.
No, it was more like the reverse of that Homelander meme, you know, like when everyone's cheering and he's like, oh, okay. It's like I was like everyone's really loving this, and I felt like I was the only one that was kind of seeing it for what it was. But I still feel like it's a fun film. But yeah, I feel like the Marvel, the company itself, needed the film more than us, the fans. They needed like a successful film, because the last film, like the Marvels, etc., has really struggled. Even though I didn't mind the Marvels.
I like the Marvels. I thought that was a cool film.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool film as well. And I feel like this film has a lot of stuff that I feel like it has a lot of moments, but the connective tissue to get those moments are really forgettable. But so like one of the moments is like the opening scene, the NSYNC. That's an all timer, in my opinion. But like as we already went through like the plot holes and but it's like one of those throwaway comedy movies. It really is a comedy.
Yeah.
So like a water boy like Bobby Boucher, who I thought like Gambit kind of sound like a mix between Bobby Boucher and like Sean Paul for some parts when he was talking. But it's just a fun film. It's a throwaway film with some really good fan moments.
They definitely basically copied Planes, Trains and Automobiles. It really is the same plot. Just obviously Planes, Trains is a better film. But yeah, John Candy, Deadpool's John Candy, and Wolverine Steve Martin. That's just the roles. Sorry, no. Who's the more serious?
You're right. Yeah.
And that's what I think. I think they looked at that film and then just said, let's just do a comic book version of this because it works. It does work. That whole buddy cop, good guy, bad guy, annoying guy, serious guy. It works. And I think also their chemistry together, that's one thing that we didn't mention, was brilliant. I think because they are such good friends outside of movies and their kids know each other and everything, I think that's shot. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm rewriting shit. I'm doing Deadpool. My bad.
I thought the end credits were really nice as well, kind of put a bow under like Fox Universe.
That was nice. But it just reminded me like it tanks towards the end.
Yeah.
That was a big fall off.
Yeah, they started showing like Fantastic Four and stuff.
Yeah, that was a worse fall off than Jonathan Majors. So are you still at 4 out of 5 bags of popcorn, Stephen?
Yeah. Yeah, in terms of entertainment wise, yeah.
Yeah, I'm at 4 out of 5 stars. This is a 4 out of 5 stars for me. You know me, man. I like my Bad Boys. I like my Fast and Furious. I do like crappy films. I don't know why.
Well, you saying Bad Boy is a crappy film?
No, not Bad Boys, but fantastic. You know them type of films that don't have like a cohesive plot, but I just have such a fun time in the cinema.
Yeah.
And
It's a popcorn movie. That's what they are. Popcorn
and
movies.
that's where Deadpool sits for me. Miles, you don't really give star ratings these days, but where would this sit in your, or out of 10 or out of 5? Where does it sit?
Out of 10, I would give it a 7 or 6.5
Okay, cool.
as a movie, but it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. I think the proof in the pudding, like most times, is where it will sit come the end of the year in like the top 10 movies of the year.
Yeah.
This resides in my top 5 or top 10, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Bro, this year hasn't been great though.
That's true.
I feel like it's gonna be in my like. I feel like it's gonna be like number 9 or number 10 in my list of.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
It's gonna be number 3 in Stevens.
No, I think it's gonna be 9 or 10. Okay.
Number number 10. Cool, blimey.
Alright, cool. So that is the end of our Deadpool talk. Just want to touch on Comic-Con, so it's going to quickly switch scenes.
Yep.
That should be switched now. Oh wait, I'm over Steven's face on the stream. There we are. And yeah, the news over the weekend. Robert Downey Jr. returning to play Doctor Doom.
Yay!
And we got Avengers Doomsday confirmed. And Avengers Sequels is staying. So they basically replaced Kang Dynasty with Doom. And then I just saw a video before we came on here. Jonathan Major's coming out of the gym. And he's basically saying that he's gutted to see, you know, them moving it away from Kang. He's happy because it's Robert Downey Jr., but he loves the character Kang. So I actually thought that at D23 they were going to announce a Kang replacement. But I think based on Doomsday and what Jonathan's saying, I think Kang has been canned. So what are your thoughts on it, guys?
It seemed like they definitely played with the idea of recasting him, because we saw some rumors of like some possible options, but I guess they found an option. Maybe the Russos maybe pitched it, and with like the rumors coming out that Robbie Downey Jr. wouldn't have returned if it wasn't the Russos directing, so maybe he brought them. You know, like in like Real Madrid and Barcelona, they have like the presidencies, like they're voting and say, okay, if I win, I'm gonna bring Beckham. If I win, I'm gonna bring Ronaldinho.
Yeah,
so it was like, oh, the Russos. If it wasn't the Russos, we might have just got like a recast of Kang. But because it's the Russos, they said, oh, we can bring. And you see, like you referenced the Drake red button earlier on. This is the red button.
No, definitely, it definitely is. I think Marvel. Like what Stephen said, they're just trying to fast track the Secret Wars and reset the MCU, and then have a completely different story going forward with X-Men, Fantastic Four, and stuff. So I thought Doom would have come after Secret Wars though, because how are you going to have Galactus and Doctor Doom at the same time?
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do.
If Galactus is in his own timeline with the Fantastic Four,
but he's gonna come over to. He has to come over to the MCU. There's no way.
Yeah, but he is in the MCU. He's in the Fantastic Four movie, and that's where he will stay for now. It's only the Fantastic Four that coming over to our sacred timeline, if you want to give it names and stuff. But yeah, I think he would just stay there for now. And then that's it, because him being in Secret Wars that's just madness. That's just complete chaos. That's a CGI vomit waiting to happen. So you stay there. You stay in Fantastic Four.
3 hours long.
Yeah, I feel like how the Fantastic Four is going to end is Galactus destroys that planet, the planet Earth, their version of Earth. And then they have no choice but to live in our sacred timeline. That's what I think is going to happen.
I think Reed Richards is good. I think they're going to fast track all Fantastic Four stuff. I think they're already going to have their powers.
I think so as well.
I think there's going to be a council of Reeds, all of that stuff. And I think Galactus eats their world, and then they use the whatever multiverse jumping machine to go and warn others that Galactus is coming.
I'm even thinking that Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom is from their world, and they warn everyone like about this guy. That's what I'm thinking
and he
anyway.
Gets brought in with them. Yeah, that would make sense. But you know what? I'm all for the casting. I think what a brilliant way to completely end your legacy. I mean, I know he's ended it with I Am Iron Man, but to come back as the villain and end everything, I think would and pull it off. That might be goated, you know.
Yeah, I'm just. I mean, I thought it was funny that they announced him, and I just like, especially because we're messing around with multiverse and variants. But I'm just gonna wait to see what happens. We'll wait for the trailer, see what they do. I know that he's gonna give us. He might not give us the Victor Von Doom that we want, but he's gonna put on a hell of a performance. You know that Robert Downey Jr. always tries to give it. I mean, he was so good in Tropical Thunder that I forgot that it was offensive. Like, it was so good.
Yo,
it was like,
I know.
You know what?
I don't know why
It
people
was
cry about that performance, man. I love Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder is
it
up
wasn't
there for me.
offensive.
I thought it was.
It was offensive, but it was forgiven. It was like, you know, do your
But
thing.
he was highlighting something that happens in Hollywood. You get the white guy dressed as the black guy who plays the like. That's what Hollywood.
And
do.
making fun of method actors as well. Yeah,
I thought that was genius.
that was good.
But Miles, what are you saying for RDJ? I watched your video.
I'm not obviously I'm a fan of RDJ, but I'm not really a fan of the casting. We have to see where the story takes us. But it'll be hard to separate the two. So, like, I feel like a truly great villain is someone that you don't want to have to root for them. But I feel like everyone, because of who he is, it'll be hard to root against him. And I just feel like even if we get like a future Doom, like this one goes away and then we get a different one, I feel like that kind of waters down the effect. It's like we've had a version of you already, and they're just bringing you back to be like another mainstay. It's like redoing the villain again. And I'm not really a fan of that, but we'll have to wait and see.
I think his intro, he has to kill someone important to make us switch our mind. Like, rah, this isn't Tony Stark. Like first thing we need to see him body off like a Thor level character. Like minute one. Like you see what Thanos did to Hulk.
Yeah.
There is a comic that people are referencing that they're saying, I'm not happy that he's playing Doctor Doom, but if you're gonna bring I want to see one scene. I know what comic is where there's a variant of Thanos, and he walks towards him and he punches the hell out of Thanos. And Thanos is like, God, wow, this Doctor Doom's not playing. I feel like we're gonna see, like we're gonna get like the moment where he becomes this Doctor Doom, and it could be the fact of when his parents died. So I got two theories. When his parents died, when he got killed by the Winter Soldier, he had to move. He moved away to wherever Doctor Doom country is. What country he's from again? He moves over there with like a family relative or something like that, and he goes on a mission. Like, I'm gonna find out he got killed by his parents. Got killed by American. It's like, all right, I'm taking out America, and that's when they become
Latveria.
Yeah, that's the one. And then it says I'm gonna take out. And that's how we get the origin of Doctor Doom. Or another version is, when Doctor Strange said in Infinity War, he said he saw so many different timelines of what happened when Thanos, did the snap, and we already saw one where they win. It could be a thing of where Iron Man goes evil when the snap happens. Instead of him, going where he was floating in space, he just turns evil, fully evil. That he killed off Peter. I'm on a rampage. I'm on a revenge thing, and then that's it. Done. He brings all the robots back again around the world, and it just goes on a rampage. Yeah, the Doombots, and then it could be anything. I think we're going to see where, like, almost like a Darth Vader story, where he went, okay, fuck this, I'm done. Everyone,
they could be like how he was talking about Spider-Man being the anchor being. Maybe after he watched like Peter Parker die in his arms, he was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm gonna resort to like, not because obviously Doom has magic as well. It's like, all right, I'm gonna use my technology and magic and try and do a madness now.
Well, there's a storyline where Doctor Doom transfers his mind to Tony Stark because he's poor. And then he uses Tony's wealth to become Doctor Doom. So it's the face of... So it's going to be
Tony
like
Stark.
face off. And I think if they go down that route, that will be sick because imagine Tom Holland Spider-Man seeing him and he just starts whacking him up because he's Doom inside.
Yeah.
That story's called Devil in an Armor.
Yeah, that was it.
But that means they will still have to cast Doctor Doom, the real Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I don't think he. I mean, I can't remember. I was tweeting. I can't remember what I was tweeting, but I said, and sorry, the person said, he's not playing Victor Von Doom. I was like, all right, cool. So that means Victor's gonna come in at the end of all of this and kill this Doctor Doom. And then I was rewatching the video, and the Russo brothers say, he is playing Victor Von Doom. So I don't know how they're going to go about changing Victor Von Doom for the MCU going forward, because Robert Downey Jr. is a Goliath of an actor. So
they could have maybe slipped up. Maybe they weren't supposed to say that, and maybe they might course correct down the line. But yeah, they did say only one person can play Victor Von Doom.
Yeah. I think he just needs to be a variant of Doctor Doom, and he does what he does before Secret Wars, and then we get the real Victor Von Doom going forward. Because you need a whole story arc for him. I don't think you can do that in a Doomsday 2-hour film.
I mean, I'm just intrigued to see what they do with this. I mean, it'd be funny to see him. He's him as Doctor Doom go against Chris Evans as the Human Torch. Like, there's another variant.
Yeah.
And then to go back and it's like, here we go again. The two rival between these two characters are going at each other. Or we get more. He's not just the only person they have to fight. Imagine all the Avengers that we don't see anymore. Like, obviously, we don't see Cap. We don't see Black Widow. They're in the Secret Wars, but they are now playing villains. So we get Black Widow is another character. I mean, we could have Steve Rogers back as Captain America, but he works for Hydra.
Yeah, the Hydra one. Yeah.
So that's all Doctor Doom's crew, like the Avengers, but the evil Avengers, like they could do anything with that. So I'm intrigued. It all depends on what they do with it at the end of the day, and if it works in the story, that's where it's gonna work for most people, and people are gonna be more forgiving. Because right now everyone's got the pitchforks and they're asking for blood. They're like, what's the MCU doing with this idea? But you just have to wait to see what happens.
Who do you think, last question, who do you think is the Avengers going forward after Secret Wars? Because we're going to have to start seeing the likes of Thor, Doctor Strange. I think Spider-Man's, he's going to be the leader going forward, so he's fine. But out of the main Avengers that we see now, who do you see continuing on?
Probably Doctor Strange, if I'm honest. I don't see Thor continuing. I want them to give my boy Shang-Chi a chance, man. They've let me down with that character, bro.
I like Shang-Chi. I really enjoyed that film.
Yeah, it was a good film. I don't know the whole bit with Aquafina and her shooting the arrow that she just learned 20 minutes ago to kill the dragon. But apart from that,
I hated the last 30 minutes of that movie anyway. But everything else I enjoyed.
Come like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, just like Dragon Ball Z. I said, what's going on here? And Avatar the Airbender, I was like, no, I'm not here for this. But yeah, I want them to do something with that character. But yeah, who knows? Like I said, we don't know what they've been working on, especially remember when they said, when they were like, okay, they admitted like, okay, we've been messing up with the MCU, that we've even gone on a camping trip to go and reflect and think of new ideas. I think he took all the writers, the whole production team, and said, okay, we need to start from scratch.
We're going to see that in like a couple of weeks at D23.
Yeah, that's next week, isn't it? Isn't like the 9th of August or something like that,
I
isn't
think
it?
so, yeah. I think they're going to give us the next 2 years. Because we've still got Armor Wars, the next Spider-Man movie, there's Shang-Chi 2, an X-Men movie.
Don't forget my girl Ironheart, man. Don't forget her, man.
You know what I really want? Like, but speaking of people coming back, I want Chris Evans to come back as like an old Cap, and want him to be like Nick Fury to kind of re-rally the Avengers into a new team.
You're right.
That's what I want.
Samuel's getting old, man. And we need a new Nick Fury-esque type character.
Yeah, we do.
I think he's going to get killed in Secret
Nick
Wars.
Fury.
Yeah.
I think he's too busy lipsing up aliens and scrolls in space.
In space. What about the Thunderbolts? They're not going to play some type of part. I'm assuming.
Like Suicide Squad? Just the Marvel.
Yeah, sort of, but they might do something with them.
I don't know. But that's the end of it, man. That was a nice stream. For those of you in the chat, I've added Stephen and Miles in the chat, so make sure you go and follow them.
Yes, thank you for listening and watching.
Yeah, man. We had a few people on TikTok listening, a couple people on YouTube. We're going to be doing more of this stuff. I know Steven's going to be doing his stuff. Miles going to be doing his stuff, so we'll be on each other's platforms. What's the next big film? Is it Alien?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
That does look good.
Have you guys got that, by the way? I know I'm going on another tangent, but are you guys got
I've
pass
not
for
got
that one?
confirmation, but they said my name.
Yeah, they said they'll keep me posted and keep me in the wraps. Whatever that means. So we'll see.
You guys got Borderlands?
No, isn't that this week or next week?
It's next week.
No, I didn't even bother. I'm not bothering with that film, if I'm honest.
Well, you guys making me want to.
I never played the game, so I was not really excited for it, to be honest with you.
And I'm sorry, but the cast is not doing it for me either. Not like
Kevin the Goat Hart.
You can go him over there, blood. I don't care. No,
The bar black sheep, yeah.
I'm okay.
But yeah, guys, look at So Geeked About Movies on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Agents of Screen on YouTube, Instagram, X. What other platforms are there now?
Yeah, TikTok as well.
TikTok.
OnlyFans, all of that.
Yeah, man.
I was gonna say OnlyFans as well. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Come on.
But no, I appreciate you guys jumping on, man. It was a good talk, and yeah, I'll see you soon, man.
Peace.